It's
getting out there and sharing my story, and just stepping into that calling that God has placed on my life. And then I've also taken my book and I've developed a leader's guide or a group study guide for that. So if you go out to my website, theblueprintofbecoming.com, you can actually go out there and download a study guide that will go along with my book, and it takes my book and turns it into a unique study for us.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Good evening. I've been off of here the whole day. It's reasons why that outside of my daily routine, if I feel like I have to step out of a boundary, if I feel like I have to step out of a boundary, and what I mean by that is if I feel overtly stressed, like I'll say it like this: I can accept stress. For those who've been rocking with me for 5 years, immigrants coming at me with weapons, assault weapons, harassing me, emasculating me, and the Democrat people that work for people like Obama or whoever, harassing my schools or inside the institution itself, harassing me within the school's institution for political purposes. If I have to step outside a normal stress level, I'm not doing it no more. If you're not worth my time, I will gladly, you can tell I'm the type of woman that if you're in a relationship with me and you just so happen to cheat, yeah, I'll work with you. We have to figure out what made you cheat because it wasn't me. You did it. With UMGC, I cannot work under circumstances where you don't admit to wrongdoing and you cause unnecessary stress towards me. And I'm I see the cues, I see the clues, that you don't want a woman like me getting a degree. You can't take away my master's, my first master's, but you can control how the curriculum go and how to make sure all obstacles are challenged heavily and overtly heavily to see exactly how bad. I don't have nobody doing my paper. Is this why people drop out of college? Because things start to get controlled. One university said they were giving out too many A's. That's like a white person saying they have 3 Black friends. They counted. They're keeping track of how many A's they give out. Certain white people don't keep track of how many Black friends they have. That's my point I'm trying to get at. A person that's not prejudiced is going to say, I have many Black friends. I can't keep track. A diverse, real white person. But a white person that say 3, you're giving out too many A's. Why are you keeping track of people education and their intelligence? So because they made an A, you're going to give them a B because your company is giving out too many A's. Who is telling you this? The last I heard, there's contributions being given from overseas to these universities, and they stem from Asia. I'm not hard to get along with, but if you want to jump on the bandwagon too of mistreatment, you will be judged. Not by me, well, by me, which obviously you're making it known that I have no merit, but by God. You can hide within the strings of the institution. You can hide in your house, your car, what you eat, what you wear, who you're with, how your situation is squeaky clean on paper, on life paper, on your experience, perfect. But you can't hide your non-integrity for not doing the right thing when no one's watching. That is a goal you do not possess, UMGC. Because had you possessed that, that one teacher that did me wrong would be fired. Mark Bayer. He would be a liability instead of an expense or asset. You treat him like he's generating the money. No, I'm generating the money. If it wasn't for me being ahead at your school, you wouldn't make nothing. You inflate your prices. All colleges. They still haven't changed the amount of the Pell Grant since the 1980s. $6,000. That's all you get from Pell Grant. But classes cost $30,000. Don't you see something wrong with that? Don't you see something wrong with that situation? How would you feel if you were being charged? You're getting paid 30% to eventually be charged for 70% for going to school. Some people don't even read it. I don't even read it. But I know, I must have read enough to know that you go to school and you get paid for 30%. And then when you're finished with the 4-year institution, if you're not still broke, you have to pay it back. Up to 70%. You'll be paying a mortgage. A mortgage for shitty, disrespectful people. I tried every avenue and it wrecked my brain. I am in distress right now. I'm still going to do the project. Oh, I don't care what y'all think right now. I love school. But your psychology tactics, I'm on to. You're not going, it is meant for students to be challenged to make sure they can get to the job. But I've already proved I can keep a job. I have bad days and I have good days. But I wouldn't even be suing y'all, if it wasn't for you guys' behavior, I wouldn't be suing you guys. You caused it. You continue it, fine. I'll be right there every 3 months. And I tell them just what I told why you unified. That if anything happens to me before, during, and after, I urge the FBI to investigate this school. If it was up to me, you know, I put it to you how loyal, and I'm not loyal, but I am loyal, but I put it to you how unloyal colleges could be. Charlie Kirk, right at a college in Colorado. Was it Colorado? I don't remember. But he was right at a college and he got shot in front of all those. No one saw nothing. Like the guy was invisible in their college, on their school grounds. On their school grounds. Where was security? They had Secret Service there, but Secret Service, that's small fry. Charlie Kirk wasn't big, but he was big. But they didn't. I mean, no one's stupid enough to shoot at somebody at a college, right? My heart goes out to Charlie Kirk. And that is why when I end up in court, you can continue with all you want. You have the power within your organization to do the right thing. But deep down inside, you don't care about me as a student, or else action. I don't care about what you say, what's on paper. Action. You made no action other than to pending drop my course. And so now I must take action. Every time I talk about my benefits, I don't know white, I don't know whether black, I don't know whether Hispanic, within the University of Maryland institution, I've been doing good getting my payments. Now all of a sudden, no payments. You are retaliating. You are belittling. You are playing mental mind games with someone who catches that very. I may not be right about everything, but I know when I'm being played around with through my mind. You couldn't even come in this thing honest. You have to lie. And that's what irritates me. I was on the phone with 3 separate people. One person told me to call back in the morning and kept saying she didn't know what was going on and played me. Did I get mad? No. Another lady that was African American actually addressed my situation. What do you do to people that are overseas and can't get to your school? I imagine what you do to me, and I know I'm not the only one. But what do you do to other students in Korea, Africa, wherever you shall be? What do you do for them? It's like you ignore people like me, hoping that I'll go away and be silenced. Would you work for free? University of Maryland Global Campus. If it wasn't for students like me, your paychecks wouldn't be, and your bellies wouldn't be full. Remember that. I and every other student pay you to teach me. And that's where I draw the line. No longer am I earned my grades and I proved my point. I don't have to jump on your watch or your dime because you feel I don't have a job to perform and do work. I earned 2 A's and a B, and it should have been 3 A's. He put me under high stress, overt, beyond infinite high stress that will forever be taunted with me forever, a piece of my story that will be in a book. One day you will have to face God. I don't know your number. Social Security may know your number, but I don't know your number. They may know your number. A lot of people say there's it's conspiracy theories. So that's all I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it. Like seriously, they may know your number. One guy, I'll use this as an example. He said he was 70 years old and he said that Social Security cut him off when he was 68 years old and said he was dead. What if they know your number or can calculate using AI or other analytics your possible death? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they know that when they're going to do something to you, or I'm not saying none of that. But why would Social Security cut off this black man knowing he was still alive? It's just something to think about, for a second. They know everything. Like I said, you have a record. They know where you work. They know where you don't want them to know you work, where you undocumented. There was a famous saying to say, we're the government. We know everything. Do you get that saying? Really? We're waiting on you. Whatever. Let me try again. Action speaks louder than words. Who is this? N. Loft on the GO. I don't even want to know. But thank you for the shout out. N. I thought it was you know. But thank you. Assemble and submit the first part of your change plan. Okay. I got the big guns now. So let's scroll back up here. Let's create this new document. Oh, no. I deserve a second master's. I deserve 3 masters. I'll take 3 masters. And I can achieve 3 masters. No one is going to take or deter me from my sit up there and deter me from sit up there. I'll just keep saying that. That'll be my doctorates to go to school for. Up to 4 years and get 3 freaking masters. I don't know how I'm going to do it. They got this one program, y'all. I hope I didn't erase GROK. Where is it at? Where is it at? I may go next year. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. It's meant, they pay your whole tuition, but I'll just say they pay your whole tuition. You go to school for free to learn. What the fuck? Who wouldn't want to do that? Me? Why you keep learning, dog? What's so special about Elon Musk? That's how they be sounding. They be like, and Tucker calls in and Donald Trump, they be like, why you want to learn so much, man? Okay. Here we go. So we're going to put this down for a second. Put this down. Wait. I want to make sure that could be the template right there. But I will see. First, we're going to go back. Assemble and submit the first part of your change plan using the 4 steps. Your final deliverable should be between 7 and 10 pages long. And he said respectfully, but he said exclusively of references. Exclusive, which means you don't want it. Hold on, let me make sure. Um, you would need a reference, footnotes, reference, tables, etc. What does exclusive? I know exclusive mean, it can mean excluded, or inclusive is included, but exclusive could also mean in another term as this exclusive thing. This thing is branded. This is right now. Like, I give out exclusives. So I want to make sure I'm hitting the right word. Okay. Okay. Still a little confused. I'm sorry, y'all. I know what exclusives and inclusive mean, but I just want to be sure. And does this mean that I have to have 7 to 10 pages of full paper? Gotcha. Okay. Mm-mm. So the hardest part right now, because we got 18 pages, something, and he wants footnotes. That's sort of like footnotes, what I did in references. So everything that he wants is this stuff right here. Let me make sure. So how am I going to do this? Let me read it one more time. Of takes me a minute. I'm a little slow. One, two, three, four, five. So if he's asking me to do it this way, not including of references, he wants it not okay. So basically what he's saying is your final deliverable should be 7 to 10 pages, but it needs to consist of references, tables, footnotes, and appendices. Respect page limits. Writing within length parameters is both academic skill and required. Check evaluation. Thank you. I always don't look at this part. Okay. All I have to do is follow this short. But I don't want to do that. That's the easy part. I want to do this, the reference part. I want to get this shit over with. Now, I have this up and I have that up. I can't put it. I'm not going to chance that. So references, what would I look at? If I had to look at my paper for number one, I know what I'm gonna do. Boom, right here, right now. Ebook, author book. All I gotta do. And I'm gonna look on my syllabus too. Syllabus time. Oh man. Where is it at? Course description. Where are you at? No, 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 no. Fiddlesticks. Books, materials. That's all I needed. I think I'm not gonna lie. Their structure is good. I hate to say it. I appreciate the book. Chapter in an edited book, authored book. No. Author would be, it would be a business. Hold on. UMGC. Location. Let's go back. Ebook. Web page. Magazine. Journal. Scholarly. E. Chapter in an edited book. Let me see examples. Forget it. There is no chapter. So let me go back to where you at, where you at, where you at, bro. Where did Gemini go? Okay. No. Okay. How would you cite their personal coursework? I always forget. LOL. There's more citements. Hold on, I'll come back to you. Where am I at? Okay. If it wasn't for what I read, I wouldn't have been able to find the situation. So go back and put all the extra citations that comes from everything I read, and then find one new one myself. Anything that designer me, or it should be something. There's a take note. What is this? Here we go. That's one reference. The first reference. I could do UMGC. I know there's a way. I just don't want to put it. I know how to cite it. UMGC, comma, or quote, semicolon, or however. I know number 9, shift 9. I'll say it in code. Shift 9. God damn it. Shift 9, 2026. Shift what? What did you say, you coders? 0. That's one reference. Hmm. Okay, go back to projects. Let's see if there's. Was that a code that I just did? Oh, just to let y'all know, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I read it already. I read everything in this and I enjoyed it. Like going to an ice cream store in the winter. And that should be good because I remember it. Then that. Ooh. Ooh, that's what happens when you copy and paste. They do it. It has a mind of its own. First, I'm gonna do it this way. It's all legit. So I'm just doing my skeleton first. Whoa. Hold up. Boom. 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 Hmm. No, it should be times when all in doubt, go times New Roman. New Roman. You know what? I should make a shirt that says that. I wonder how many people would get that. They would compliment me on that shirt. So you can never say that I wasn't inspired by Google or, you know. I I didn't even know the last number in the hold on trying to. It's the actual. So if I had to keep it from the containment, that is the structure that it's in. There we go. That's all I wanted to see. It's still a little crazy. But this is due for right now. I'm gonna copy and paste and I'm gonna do some razzle dazzle. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth one is gonna be something that I use in the 7 to 10 pages. So that means 3 pages. One page have to be, he didn't say how to write it. And I guess this was because we are in the master's program and this is their way of seeing how we deal with stress. I guess, but just crazy, unnecessary stress. And yeah, I just like that's the key word that get me going. And I just want to make sure that when I do this project, I do it right. And the references, I got 5 and I need one more. I need one more. I gotta, so back to the story. 3 pages have to be written about. 1 pages have to be like the intro. Something have to be a chart of something. So this is the most difficultest thing because you have to make sure you organize it just right. So first things first, I may not get through with it all today, but I put a reference, but now I'm going to look at the first part to the actual paper, the first part that he wanted to see, and summarize it in 60% of wording about, no, first, the first part is very difficult. The first part should talk about all 3, what this is about, and all 3, what he's looking for, and summarize in a paragraph. It should be paragraph to paragraph to paragraph. These paragraphs must be lethal. Like the bibliography. Did he say something about a bibliography? Um, bibliography. I always get confused. Okay, whatever he want. Okay, I did reference. That's the bottom. Tables. Go to tables. Respect page limits. Okay. Where are you at? So the next one should be tables. I didn't mean to get that. I didn't ask that shit. Gemini is trying to give me the SC. That's why I don't use you. Hold on. No, I don't want to know. Okay, I'll go up to this part right here. Participant group, transactional leadership, passive avoidant. Okay. Okay. Um, um, so the participant group would be me, or, but this is not the same. We're talking about the Cotters for eight model or something in the first four stages of it. Me org within is within that. They cannot have vertical lines. Ah, give me something without. Give me something without UMGC. Okay. And this is a table. I've seen it before. I've never had to actually write a table, but it's without like lines, like they say. That is so weird. No. Um, I can do that one myself. Leadership. No. So the table, go back up. I think I've seen their statistics. Dang, I haven't said this word in a minute. Stocks. XYZ Corporation case study. Demographics. So operations, 15. Average years of service, 8.5. Management level, mid-level. Logistics, 22. Average years of service, 4.2. Entry level. Executive, 4. Years of service, 12.0. Management level. Senior. The tables have to be mixed in though. So, the first thing, we gotta take baby steps, Mom. Okay. No. Go here. No. Go here. Here. I don't know how I'm about to place it. I'm wondering. Okay, number 1. Oh, duh. Duh. No, stop. First things first. I'm gonna place it in there, but I'm not gonna place it in there. Identify and clearly explain the issue, question, or problem. And now we go here. Now, between all of this, we have Carter's the issue is that the Carter's model. I want to know the whole step of that. Up to 4. I keep my daggone Benadryl on deck. Excuse me for a second, y'all. Okay, here I come. Create a sense of urgency. Communicate the fact that change is needed swiftly in order to garner support for the organizational change plan. Um, and how does that correlate? There's one thing to be acknowledged, to do a pre-screening or to do something where an employee actually knows that they're going to be put under stress. But to be known to put under stress because it's supposed to be done or it is purposefully being done and the person don't know is another. Okay. I'm just skimming through here real quick, y'all. Give me a second. Keeping a relationship is just as hard as building. Not always, it's not always going to work. And this may create a voluntary firing or quit. You must follow step one in the building relationships. You must evaluate pre-screening the employee and put them under enough stress based on the algorithms of the job and see what kind of behavior they give you. For example, ask them proprietary questions not for gain, but to see how open they would be with you. Will they resist? How do they resist with attitude? Nice reject of the situation. So many ways that can happen. We need to sometimes know is able to adapt to stressful situations. So keeping a relationship requires, that's me, by the way, Kimberly, that you know who you're dealing with and the behavior or how they act. If you cannot control to a certain extent your employees, then you're wasting your time. You must be able to control them, yet allow them to have control as well. Keeping a relationship is following all steps and feeding the transference of energy to potential employee by having honesty and integrity can make a positive relationship build. I have to get used to this heater. It comes on at the weirdest times. When we become vulnerable, when we create openness to not only get trust but be trusted, we deal with hurt. Why should I trust my manager is the question. When we become vulnerable, we create openness to not only get trust but be trusted. We deal with hurt and pain both ways, and it is sometimes hard to trust. 3 pages or 2 pages. I'm thinking how I'm gonna do this, y'all. Because this talks about moving on. Was this for me or I want to go back? This was a CEO address, but he wants the CEO address too. And let's go to the second part of this. I made hold on, a set meeting agenda. It is hard, Kimberly. I have to read it one more time. So basically, 59 minutes, finding the right employees is one of the points. And I will accomplish ways to use critical hardcore thinking skills. And the rationale is explain what imagine this part of the meeting will accomplish and how it relates to the intended purpose and outcomes. Why is this part of the meeting necessary given our purpose and goals? I explained why trying to find an employee is hard. Okay, so I accomplished talking about how we use ways of critical hard thinking skills to find the right employee to do the job. Potential employees, good and bad, or what it takes for employees under regular job-based stress. There would be a universal language that gets spoken pre-screening. Okay, so this says 59 minutes duration, CEO and rationale. The rationale of finding the right employees. The rationale of building relationships with employees. The rationale of keeping a relationship with employees. The rationale, this is different. The ration, I hope I did this. I know I followed what the left of me said. Okay. 6, 10. No, 11. Oh, okay. But I need that too. Lord Jesus. Mm-mm. Hmm. I'm gonna come back around. This is my main goal is to get this taken care of. Um, as much as- Okay, that's just a little bit that what I have in store for what I'm gonna do. That's not even me. Org has a deep problem with they create vision and mission statements, or they create employee guidance, and their mission statement is to help employees find their creativity, or that's what every corporate world would want for their employee so that they can make money. But what happens when you have reality sets in? Some of the corporate world may not like their lives, or some of the corporate world may not have good lives. And even if that's not the case, maybe they just don't care about, you know, anyone. And this is just, I'm not saying anyone is like that. This is what I'm hearing. Action is everything to me. And this is what they're telling me based on what I've read. This isn't to anyone, any company, any organization, any corporate world. In the real corp, this is the fake world. And I'm basing it off of the statistics from the corporate world. So, like I was saying, whoever is in the corporate world, they're not, it's a disconnection or a miscommunication between the corporate world and the employee, and I see why, because I kind of get it. I think that if you aren't on a level, that's why they hire only a selected few of people. If you aren't on a level where you can, like, you can't grow no further, you just don't want to do much, that's like me being thrown, I have to say this because I love saying it, into the White House as president. I wouldn't know shit what the fuck to do. They throw their people, and since day one, since I got to UMGC, they the people that work for me or complain. They got thrown into something they didn't understand. They were thrown into something that they didn't understand, and it caused conflict. And the middleman is always the crook. Y'all notice that shit? And every the middleman. Think about it. I mean, I'm not going to get into detail, but it's just like the corporate world, they give direction in hopes that the middleman will follow it and give it to employees what knowledge they gave them. And they feel like they shouldn't have to run behind no one to sit up there and achieve the same exact results. Agreeable? So when you see people complaining, this could have been flipped upside down. It could have been there was so much overtly good job ethics. Maybe they should change the narrative that there was such good job ethics that what could have been done if this happened? What could have been done if that happened? Other than saying that this is just negative, because the positive responses went down by 11.5 and the negative responses went down by 20.7. So the table talks about the gender, race, and age. I have to put that. I'm gonna leave it like it is, and I'm gonna understand why it's like it is right now. No, that's 64%. Let me do table 2. And then this, all I have to discuss the all employee meeting agenda with descriptions too. So I have to figure out a way to incorporate. That's why I don't want to touch it no more. And where is it at? Really, bro? I'll have to incorporate some of these questions with that and sway it into the statistics of the race and age, table 1 and table 2. And this data. So I'm not taking nothing off the table right now. Nothing. Except my hand and my arm. Okay, there you have it, folks. I sat up there and in 2 hours. Let's just say an hour and 30 minutes. This isn't gonna be easy. The first step is the issue of the problem. And the issue is that they have been getting complaints, people have been leaving, retention has been down, turnover rates has been up, whether voluntary or involuntary. You know, that is what is going on. So I hope, as usual, you guys take care. I know I got some ratchet comments. I got something for this one though. I've been dreaming about this. I've been dreaming about that. I said next time it happens, people will get on your page and hi. So take care, be safe, and I will see you guys another day. Another day, another day, another day.